Enjoy the show the Van Wezel way. Van Wezel performing Arts Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Curtain Call Conversations. I'm Muffy Lavens, the Director of Public Relations, and we are so thrilled to have you back here with us for 2026. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. I know we enjoyed every moment of the holiday shows we had here at the Van Wezel. But now, many of you know, once we get to January, the shows are coming fast and they're amazing, and we are going to talk about Some Like It Hot today. I'm joined by Devon Goffman, who is one of the performers in Some Like It Hot. Devon, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, Some Like It Hot, the Broadway show, kind of follows along the plot of the movie for those who have seen it. But those who haven't, can you tell us a little bit about what they can expect to see?
Absolutely. Some Like It Hot. The movie was back in the 50s, and it's set in 1933 in Prohibition era. And basically, the idea of the story of Some Like It Hot, there's two musicians slash performers, tap dancers, Joe and Jerry, and they're two really out of work musicians, and they're looking for work. And in the Prohibition era, the clubs were owned by the mob, and the mob, played by my character Spats Colombo, based on Al Capone. Spats Colombo owns the club that they're trying to perform in. So basically, Spats Colombo wants to find only the best talent for his clubs. I call him sort of the Simon Cowell of the 1930s. And Spats hires Joe and Jerry to come play and sing and dance at his club. And in the clubs that only alcohol was only secretly sold at the because of prohibition. So the Joe and Jerry, these two hilarious buddies that grew up together, and they're a hilarious duo, comedy duo. They witness a mob hit by in one of the back rooms of the club where Spats Colombo, and that I don't want to ruin the show for anybody seeing it, but they witness something that they shouldn't have seen, and have to run away from the mob, ensuing chase scenes that are always the most fun in old musicals. So we, Joe and Jerry, decide to join an all-girls band, to hide from the mob, and they travel all the way to San Diego. They go across California bound with Sweet Sue's Society Syncopators, and they
That's a
join the
mouthful.
band. It's hilarious. It's a mouthful. I have to say it a few times in the show, so I say it 5 times fast. But yeah, they join the band. They dress up as women, and the hilarity ensues. The mob, my character is chasing the band across the country. The cops are chasing the mob across the country from Chicago, because Spats Colombo, my character, is a Chicago gangster.
Well, in Chicago, I feel like just feels right for that time of, the era and the way this musical is set. So tell us a little bit more about your character and what it's like to step into kind of that bad guy role as a mobster.
There's nothing more fun than being the villain, especially in the musical's really fun. It's tap dancing. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful costumes. It's Tony Award winning costumes by Greg
Yes.
Barnes. I mean, it takes you right into the era of 1933. I get to wear these beautiful suits that were built exactly for me, like hand tailored suits. And I think that it changes how you feel as the mob boss, because the Spats Colombo, Al Capone, based on they wore really nice clothes, and
Mm-hmm.
these mobsters, they were actually really into very expensive cars and very expensive clothing, and so you put on this suit, and I step into this role, and I like to think of Spats as a lovable gangster. I think the audience, though there is moments of definitely. Spats creates some fear in the show. He also is a very funny character. So I've had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of a good time embracing the villain. They always say on tour, or in a show, you want the villain to be somebody who's actually a good guy backstage as an actor, because you don't want a real villain backstage in your show.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hire. I think I'm a pretty nice guy, so I think it reads that I could be mean only when I need to, right, in the show.
Well, in the 5 minutes I've been talking with you, you seem like a pretty nice guy, so I give
Thanks.
that stamp of approval.
I appreciate that.
So you mentioned some of the tap dancing, and I think that's one of the things that I take away the most from this show too when I saw it is how incredible the dancing is. The tap dancing, it's those big Broadway numbers that people know from kind of more of like the old classic Broadway shows you think of. What was it like having to learn some of that fast-paced choreography?
It was the coolest thing I've done in so long in my career. I love it so much. Casey Nicolau is our director and choreographer,
Hmm.
and the best that Broadway has to offer. Casey won a Tony Award for the choreography in this show. So what a gift it is for us as a company to get to work in Casey's show. The tap dancing, he makes it fun. All of the tap dancing is electric and exciting, and there's some of the best tap dancers in the world on the stage. So me myself, I did learn to tap in high school, and I got to do 42nd Street and Anything Goes in high school. And when I did a couple of professional productions, but mostly my career has been doing comedy and
Hmm.
doing I did Jersey Boys for a long time. So I'm a musician, so it was really cool for me to step into a show that to get to tap dance and to get to do these chase dance scenes. We call it choreography because
Okay.
it's choreography using doors, like a old school Scooby Doo. The music's funny at the time, and it's light, and we're chasing and running in and out of doors, and the door scene always gets at the very end of the show, the big, we call a scene called, it's called Tip Tap Trouble, and it's the big chase scene in the second act that also has a lot of tap dancing, and the audience just goes nuts at the end of the show, at the end of that moment.
Hmm.
And it all, the culmination of the whole show, everyone in the show, including me, gets to join in on the tap dancing. Most of the show you're just going to see the best tap dancers in the world tap dancing, but I get to join even a little bit in Tip Tap Trouble. So the choreography is really fun, and really,
Hmm.
it's a lift. I think everybody who comes to see the show, we see them outside, whether we're collecting for Broadway Cares in the lobby, or I see them after the show at the stage door, and people are so happy. They leave the show feeling like good energy, and I
Hmm.
think that's our gift that I get to give for this whole year on the road, to just give people a little lift at a time that in the world, there's a lot of ups and downs around the holidays, and there's people that
Sure.
are maybe, dealing with harder things. And the show, every night, 8 times a week, we do this show, and every night I feel better when I finish the show. And I think it's because the shared experience with the audience, they're laughing like it's a sitcom. So it's a very funny script, and they're laughing the whole time, and then they're also, I think, touched by the friendship and love story in the show, that is, it's about acceptance and being
Hmm.
a good person, and trusting that your friends are the best part of your life, and that you should accept them no matter what they choose to do or what they choose for their lives.
I love that you say that too, because theater is such a powerful shared experience and it is so uplifting and joyous and so much fun. And it's amazing that you guys can bring this show week after week, day after day to all these different markets. So let's talk a little bit about tour life
Okay.
and what it's like being on the road. Do you have any sort of routines to, keep your voice or your body or your energy consistent city to city?
Definitely. I mean, there's a we as performers, when you're doing the same thing 8 times a week, no matter what you're doing, you have to really take care of your bodies and take care of your sleep at night. I like to sleep for 8 hours at night. I drink a lot of water. Um, I try to put healthy things in my body. I try not to eat poorly, or um I take good care of myself. Most of the cast, we see each other at the gym. Even though we're doing the show at night, we'll bump into each other at the gym, and we have PT on the road. That there's a physical therapist that comes out to work with us to make sure little bumps and bruises don't become anything worse than that. The dancers in our show are, keep saying this, are world class, fantastic, and they're athletes. The way they're diving on the floor and flipping
Hmm.
each other, it's really amazing to watch them work. And I've learned a lot of how to how to take care of myself doing the little bit of tap dancing. um, I do some running in the show and some high knees, and there's some really fun stuff. But after you do it 450 times and you do it 8 times a week, your body really feels it. Yeah, we I have little on the road that it's we're like a family. I mean, we take care of each other. I think it's important that a touring cast is a bunch of people that you find nice people and kind people to tour together so that it keeps a good energy. I love this company. I think you can tell on stage that we like each other, and I think it reads in the show. I think when we're done, we're not just doing our job. We actually really like doing the show. And yeah, how do you not enjoy comedy?
Right.
Comedy is um it's wonderful and it's free, and our writers gave us this brilliant script to work with. Well, I haven't talked about the music in the show, but the music of the show
Yeah, let's
is
talk about it.
Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman, two of the legends in our industry, wrote this music. They wrote musicals like Hairspray and Smash, and they wrote the TV show music for Smash. Mark and Scott wrote the lot of the film music that you remember growing, like When Harry Met Sally. The soundtrack
Hmm.
is, they wrote, they scored so many movies. They're two geniuses, and to get to work with them in New York when we were rehearsing the show, and they did some little little tweaks to the show and helped with the orchestrations for the tour. And to work with this team of really brilliant humans was really cool. And it's a jazz like score, and it
Hmm.
lives in that 1930s style. So you get the upright bass and the drums. The drummers that we have on our show that are some of the best jazz drummers that I've and they somehow make it work to play this really really jazzy score, but also
Hmm.
have it work with the tap dancing to be perfectly in rhythm. It's really amazing. I love the show, if you can't tell already. That I actually really love it. And I really love that we're working with great material. There's something really great
Yeah.
for us as artists when you get to work with great material. That it makes it fun. It really does.
Well, I love this show too. So many people have asked me this season, like, what show are you most looking forward to? And this is the one that I say because when I saw it, I was just blown away by the music, the dancing, the story, the costumes, everything about it just felt true Broadway and so much fun. And as you've said, it's comedy, it's fun. It's one of those shows you don't really have to or get into those deep messaging. And while those shows are amazing and have their place too, this is just one of those you're going to go and you're going to have a great time.
And we have the best leaders of our show. Leandra Ellis Gaston, who plays Sugar, a superstar in our industry. She was in Six on Broadway, and Tina Turner on Broadway. She's just fantastic, and she steps into those Marilyn Monroe shoes from the movie. And Leandra is her voice just shines. I think. I mean, the other night when she sang one of her big numbers, the audience just wouldn't stop applauding for us to go on to the next number.
Yeah.
So having people like, and Tavis and Matt, who play Joe and Jerry, are both just ridiculous dancers, singer, actors. They're so funny, and you get to ride through their story
Hmm.
through the whole show. So it's really fun.
That is great. And I know you mentioned that you have a really great cast and great camaraderie together. Are there any like pre show rituals or traditions that you guys do together?
Yeah, we have a bunch. We also everybody gets ready on the stage before the show. So you see after everybody's kind of mostly dressed, they're on the stage stretching most of them
Hmm.
partners are practicing doing a few things together. Whenever there's a new person, like a new swing that goes on or a person has a debut, we circle up before the show. We circle up and hold hands and kind of say how we're what we're grateful for the new person joining and welcoming them, and we pass the energy around a little bit. And yeah, we work together really well. We've been collecting money for Broadway Cares, which is a charity organization, and our company really does want it to be want to raise the most money possible for this charity. So we work really hard together to make that happen, and including like signing posters and programs, and we have little like pizza parties while we're signing. And we this week we went to a professional basketball game, and Leandra, who's our sugar, sang the national anthem at the Washington Wizards game in DC. And we all went, like the whole group went and watched the game. So
I
it's
love
a
that.
there's something really, yeah, that's it's really nice to tour with a group, and we all go through ups and downs together. So everybody on travel day kind of keeps to themselves, and we wear our jammies on whether usually it's on a plane or whatever. Everybody's in their headphones and trying to like unwind on the travel day. But I think they'll be in Sarasota is going to be a lot of beach time, and I think I've played there before with other tours. I think I've played there with Jersey Boys and with On Your Feet, the Gloria
Okay.
Estefan musical.
Yes.
So I remember the place, and I remember who came to see me there, and you remember each of these theaters. I've toured a
Hmm.
lot. I've done a lot of touring. And I remember this theater that we're at, and I remember, I mean, the energy there is great
Hmm.
in Florida for theater, and I'm just excited to get back to Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little hard to forget the giant purple theater on the
The giant
water.
purple theater on the water. I remember I played mini golf right down the street from there.
Yep, there, yes,
And
we do
it
have
was
that too.
we had so much me and one of the guys from On Your Feet, we had so much fun. We played mini golf and we made little videos while we were walking around playing mini golf, and we had a blast. It was I love it there. I love
Hmm.
Florida. It's one of my homes is in Florida. Like it's my parents all live in Florida, and I'm in Florida often. I have a place in Florida, and so I have roots there. I grew up
Hmm.
in Buffalo, New York, so I grew up where it was cold and snowy.
Yes,
So my whole
very
family has,
cold, very
yeah,
snowy.
absolutely. And so most of my family's either from New York City or from Buffalo, but all of them have moved down to Florida, and so I spend a lot of time down there, and it's nice. You get the beaches are beautiful, and I think Sarasota is close to where we went and vacationed as a kid to Siesta Key and Longboat Key, Anna Maria Island. We used to vacation down there when I was a kid, and I just have so many beautiful memories of that area.
Well, actually, when you walk out the stage door, you will see Longboat Key across the
That's
water.
amazing. That's
Yes.
so many good memories.
Yes, it is. And it's such a great arts town. I mean, everybody loves whether it's coming here to see a Broadway show or going to the opera or the orchestra or the ballet. We have so many amazing companies here, and it's such a great arts town that definitely everybody loves coming out to see what we have going on and really, really enjoy having you guys here.
I'll tell you this much. It snowed today in Washington, D.C., and our company, and we say some like it hot, but the company likes the hot weather too much better than the snow. So this company is ready to get down and be dancing that dancing their hot feet off down in Florida is
Hmm.
much easier on the body than when they walk outside after the show and the poor dancers are trying to bundle up from the cold
Yeah.
snow. So it's really great to get down to Florida for a few weeks.
I believe it. And you'll be here at the perfect time in January, the 21st through the 25th, when, the snow is hitting everywhere up north and it's gorgeous weather down here.
Can't wait.
Now, before I let you go, we always like to end with something a little fun and silly here at Curtain Call
Okay.
Conversations. So I want to know if Broadway had a reality competition, reality TV show competition, what challenge would you dominate?
If Broadway had
Hmm.
a reality, so you're saying if it's a reality show about being a Broadway
Broadway.
performer,
Yep.
what would I dominate?
Yep.
Huh. like the challenge.
Yes,
I I
if there's
think
different types
I
of
love it. I
Broadway
love
things.
this is a great question. The thing that I think is my secret weapon as a performer that I would dominate is I like to make an audience laugh. And I think if they challenged me, they gave me a minute, try to make the audience laugh as many times as you could. I think with a little bit of prep, I think I might win that competition. I have a lot of experience hosting and doing fun things in front of
Mhm.
audiences, telling jokes. I like comedy and I like to make an audience laugh. So I would take that challenge if I think there's something about when you're doing comedy for a long time that you know when to pause and when to move on and
Yeah.
when to dovetail the laughter. And I don't want to toot my own horn here, but the question kind of lends to it. But
Mhm.
I think if you gave me that challenge, I think it might be silly. The things that I say might be silly, and I'm good at being off script. So as long as I knew a little bit about the where the audience was, like what location the audience was from, and I knew a little bit about I think I could make them laugh.
I love it. And we can't wait for you to make us laugh with Some Like It Hot when you come to the Van Wezel, January 21st through the 25th. Devin, thank you so much for the conversation today. This has been wonderful.
Thanks, Muffy. This was really fun, and you know, I say this to I wish we were having this conversation in person in a and not over Zoom or over you know, a podcast. But the idea that we talked about is that, you know, in 1933 there was no TV screens and there were no phones, and there is a really special thing that happens with a live audience that if you come
Hmm.
see our show, you put your phone away and you just spend some time in 1933 without this technology, and you get to just sit and laugh, and we have a shared experience that I feel like we've had a shared experience today,
I think so too.
even through the channels of technology. But I do believe that there's something even that we're talking about having a shared experience in the theater. And I hope when you come to see the show that you'll come say hello at the stage
Absolutely.
door after, and I really we really do appreciate when we get to hear from the people that saw the show, because we share that experience every night, and it's a two-way street. We work together. The audience is part of the show. So
Yep.
laugh a lot when you come see Some Like It Hot in Sarasota, especially when I say things.
Well, you heard it here, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on Curtain Call Conversations today, and we will be back in 2 weeks with another episode.